So I'm gonna tell a little bit of a story in this because I had my head in the sand.
Oh, you did?
Well, yeah, I should have known. It was right in bloody front of me.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Okay, back again. Sue Roberts, mentally healthy. Hello, kia ora, and kaya. Now, I've got my youngest daughter, and if you're wondering why I look so old, is because I had her when I was 47, so I probably look like a grandmother. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, Taylor Grace has been on before talking about bullying, and now she's come back to talk about smoking marijuana, withdrawing from it, and all the things that happened to her when she was withdrawing from it and going to a hospital and then getting treated like shit. So, welcome, darling.
Thank you.
So, what would you like to tell the audience out there?
I tried to. Where should I even start? Maybe from the very beginning?
Yeah.
Well, for example, I mean, in school, you know, they always talk about be careful of drugs, but they always talk about like meth or heroin or, you know, bickies back in the day or caps. You know, they talk about the really hard drugs, but nobody mentioned to me anything about marijuana.
No.
They just said it.
And they still don't.
They don't give you anything, but they tell you all the bad stuff about meth and heroin, which you can get from anywhere. Like, it's pretty common knowledge. But, you know, marijuana, they always said, was the gateway drug. But when you look at marijuana and you see, like, movies and TV shows, it's where the hippies smoke it, and it's really fun and relaxed. So I always had in the back of my head, like, I would love to do marijuana if I'm sitting around a bunch of people, you know, just talking and stuff. But it ended up happening at the beach, I think after school one time.
How old were you?
Oh, probably 16, I
Okay.
reckon. And we were with all the girls, and we made like a bong out of like a Gatorade bottle, a hose, and some alfoil, which is pretty common knowledge for...
Yeah, I
these
only
days.
found about 2,000 of them
Yeah.
in the garden, and I thought they were her friends. No.
Never mind. I upgraded to glasses as well.
Yeah, oh God, so
They're
naive.
quite nice. But the first time was pretty cool. Like, I was just, we all did it, had like a cone, and I remember just like lying on my back and looking at the clouds, and I was like, whoa, like there's a spaceship and stuff. Because I guess the first time was like the most hectic time because I was a virgin in a sense to drugs, really. And then after that, I kind of never stopped doing it, which was a bit scary. I remember me and my best mate, we would always get like sticks and fids, and, you know, every time after school we'd have like sleepovers and we'd chop up, like go down to the park, chop up, have like 1 or 2 cones and giggle and have the best time ever, and then eat heaps of food and pass out watching movies. Like, it was really fun. And marijuana is it's really hard to explain, but for a person who had, you know, lots of anxiety, who wasn't on medication, marijuana for me was just a medication to not being so anxious, which is so strange because it makes you really, really paranoid sometimes as well. But for me, it was just like, I was in a nice environment. I was in our backyard, actually, with my mates. Because you'd work, and then I'd know you come home because the garage door would start closing, so I'd hide everything. We'd act normal, and you'd come through and be like, hi, Mom. You'd be like, oh, hi. And then, you know, we were kind of free to do whatever we wanted to do. But after that, it became like a constant thing. I think I had been smoking weed for 3 to 4 years straight, like no stops, not even for a day. It was morning, noon, and night. And it was just, I was chasing that hit like I got from the first time, you know? And it was just, I felt so good when I was high. Like, I didn't worry about anything. I didn't have anxiety. As soon as I had that bong, it was just like, just calm down, which I really enjoyed. But then it got to a point where I was very dependent on it. And what I didn't realize, and I don't think what a lot of people don't realize, is that when you're abusing marijuana for an extended period of time, morning, noon, and night, starts having these insane effects on your body. Like, I was losing weight. I was so skinny.
Yeah.
I remember even, not that, I'm not even sure if you knew that I was smoking, but you just could see my weight had just, I was a stick.
It was probably after I found about 12 glass bombs and you were with Lewis, and I thought, I think they might be my daughters.
Yeah, they were all, I mean, because all of my past partners had all smoked. They either knew people who were the drug dealers, or they just always picked up, and like at the time when I was young, I was picking up, wicks and fids, which are the smallest things you can get in it. That would last me like a week or 2 weeks. And then I upgraded to buying a cube, which would last me maybe like 2 to 3 days. Like, that's how much I was smoking. And that was for literally 3 to 4 years of my life, day in, day out. And I just like had no appetite. I couldn't go to bed without weed. I couldn't function without weed. Like, I would come to family functions, high in the kite, thinking you couldn't even notice, and the family photos come out, and I'm like,
I used to say to you, darling, can you just come to these dinners straight? Because Benny's sitting over there, and probably wondering what was going on.
Dan would interrogate me as well.
But you with Lewis, for a year, you smoked constantly.
He was really bad for me, I reckon. And he's not like a bad person at all. He's a really sweet, sweet person, but god damn, he was like really fueled it. Like, he was always supply me with weed, would always have weed. It was just smoking it all the time. Would come back inside for an hour, come back outside, go inside for an hour, come back outside, and just smoke and smoke and smoke. And it wasn't only marijuana that we were doing. Like, he would buy like tabs, like acid.
Yeah. And
we'd do that every weekend, which is actually like not good for you. And I remember he would just be like, oh, guess what I got this weekend? And I'm like, what? And it was like acid. And I was like, it's probably not the best to have it consistently every weekend. And then, as we were doing tabs, we were smoking, because it makes you more like kind of acidy, if that kind of makes sense. And then I remember this one time I told him, I was like, listen, I need to stop. Like, I'm getting really like quite sick. And what happened as well, which I had no idea that was related to smoking weed, was ending up in a hospital. So the first time this ever happened, it was horrible. It was after like a night out. We were at my best mate's dad's house, and I woke up and I needed to vomit. And like, vomiting after a night out isn't uncommon, So I was like, okay. So I vomited, came back, thought I'd feel better. I didn't. Kept vomiting. Like, I literally couldn't sit in bed because I felt so sick. And I took a shower and I was still vomiting, and I literally couldn't stop vomiting. Like, there was nothing inside of my stomach. I couldn't stop vomiting, and my stomach was just like, like cramping, and I was so thirsty, for anything, like water. Drink water as soon as it hit my stomach, back up, and I'm vomiting again, and I couldn't stop it. So I had to call Dad. Oh no, actually my mates, because I drove with my car and parked it at my best friend's dad's house, and none of the girls at the time had their license, and I was like, you need to drive me somewhere, like a hospital or something. Quinn found the closest doctor thing, so she got in the car without a license. I had my head out the window, I was like covered in water. I was in an hoodie, and I was like just out of it. I was like, just drive somewhere. Like, I need to get somewhere because I cannot do this. And at that point, I'd been like yakking convulsively for like 3 to 4 hours because I thought it would stop, and it didn't stop. Anyway, they dropped me at the hospital. Such a lovely lady. She literally took one look at me, pushed everybody else aside, and was like, you come in right now. And then I came in, I was lying on the table, and I think you mentioned, because I might have called you or something and explained it, but you mentioned the needle in the bum, and all I could say to her was like, just give me the needle in the bum. And she's like, oh, okay. She knew exactly what I meant, and straight away she chucked the needle in my bum, gave me a little icy pill to sip on, and I felt fine. I felt so much better after that. But I went to Dr. Bede, and I was like, Dr. Bede, I explained the story, and I was like, it's so weird. And he was like, maybe you're allergic to a type of alcohol. It can be found in lots of wine. And I was like, okay, what is it? And he was like, it's preservative 220. And I was like, all right, okay, so I'm going to do a test. I'm going to not drink anything with the preservative 220 in it. So I was on craft beers, which are absolutely disgusting, and it was good for a while until one night when I'd been drinking vodka the whole night, and we were at, I think, our house, and you were away because it wasn't like a party or anything. It was just all of us.
Stop making
silly.
excuses.
Yeah, trust me.
I said parties when your mother wasn't there.
Yeah, I had a lot actually. But anyway, this wasn't a party. This is just like not afters, but like I was on the couch and we were watching movies. We were dancing, and they brought Macca's back, and I wanted like a cheeseburger, fries, and a massive Coke drink, and fell asleep. Woke up. They brought it, and I was like, oh, and I looked at the food, and as soon as I looked at the food, I was like, ooh. Then I go to the toilet, start yakking, and then I just, like, PTSD from the last time I did this. I was like, surely fucking not. I was like, surely I feel better after this. So I was like, hand me the Coke, like, started, like, downing the Coke, yacked that all up, and it was to the point where this was at, like, 2 a.m. in the morning, so it's not like I had easy access to go to a doctor or something. So I was on the couch, I had a bucket there, and I was just like, nothing coming out, like literally nothing. I was just like, and then I was kind of just like it's such a weird feeling. It's a horrible feeling. It's literal torture. Like, you can't drink anything. You're continuously feeling awful and sick. You're yakking, like your stomach's convulsing. You feel like absolute shit. You just want to get something out, but nothing's in there to get out. But your body keeps doing it. And anyway, I went into the shower, and I think I passed out in there for about 4 hours. Everybody was keeping up on me, making sure, because I did not feel good outside of it. The shower was the only thing that made me feel good. So I was just there until Dad picked me up. I had drenched hair again, put my hoodie on again. My makeup was everywhere. I didn't give a fuck what I looked like. I was just like, get me some help. So Dad, being Dad, drives up to the hospital. Poor thing, I think I scared the fuck out of him. But we drive up to Charles Gardner. I go to step out of the car, and I just drop, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Dad, and he's like, I'll go get a wheelchair. And I was like, Dad, and he's running to go get a wheelchair while trying to talk to me, and then my hands just started going like this, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I literally couldn't move them. I was having like a panic attack now, because I was like this, and then my hands just go like that, and I couldn't stop them, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So they got me the wheelchair. My hands were still like this. I was just groaning in pain. I was panicking. And I remember being in the hospital, and they were like, what's your name? And I was like, Taylor Grace. And they're like, what's your address? And I was like, can we fucking do this another time? Like, I need to like get in to see somebody. I can't talk to you right now. She was like, I need to get this information. And I was like, can you just ask fucking Dad for it? Like, I'm literally like this, going like, people in the waiting room are looking at me being like, oh my God, is that her appendix? Like, is she okay? Like, and I was just having none of it. And Dad was like, I'll do it. I'll fill out the information. Just get her in. So I go in. I'm sitting in the fucking hospital bed. They're asking me all of these questions. And I'm like, dude, do I look like somebody that you can talk to right now? That hospital experience was the fucking worst, horrible experience. I was there for 8 hours. 8 hours. And only in the last hour did I actually get help. I was sitting there, like, on the bed. They were asking me all of these fucking questions. I answered them all. They would leave me. I would be like, okay, is somebody coming? Like, I feel horrible, and I've got this bag, and I'm like, and then I'm trying to drink water, and then I'm trying to yak it back up, because that's the only way that I feel good. And nobody's helping me. Nobody's doing anything. The only person who probably the only person who helped me was the cleaner. She saw me. She came over, she was like, oh my God, you poor thing, do you want some apple juice? Do you want some orange juice? And I was like anything, like, give me some apple juice. She gave me, the full body cleanser. She was like, here, have this, wash your makeup off. And I was like, and she was a fucking cleaner.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point, I think 3 hours after being there, I was like, I'm in immense pain, like, someone please fucking see me. So I would stand up, and I would walk out, and then I would walk to the like front desk, and I'd be like, is somebody coming to help me? And they'd be like, yeah, go lie back down. A nurse would come, and then she'd sit me back down, and then half an hour to an hour later again, nobody's fucking seeing me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I just remember being there and just like chucking my hands. You could hear me. I was the only person making noise. It was just like, and it was loud and vocal, and I would stick my hand down my throat because it was the only way to make me feel better. And I'd be like, and this nurse comes over and she's like, why are you doing that? And I was like, because nobody's fucking helping me, and this is the only thing that makes me feel better. And she's like, that's gonna make it worse. And I'm like, help me, like, it's not that fucking hard. Like, if I'm doing this, then maybe you should like put two brain cells together and be like, okay, maybe this girl needs help. Like, it was, and I think they judged me completely because I was in an hoodie, my hair was wet, makeup was everywhere, so I reckon they thought that I was probably like,
yeah, but they shouldn't do that,
100%. It was so annoying. And then I remember finally
where was Dad?
Dad had to work, so I was there by myself. It was horrible. And then they had all of the injections inside of me, and then they put the needle into my bum. Finally, that's what I've been asking for the very start. They thought they could put one of those, anti-nausea tablets. Like, that's gonna fucking work. I was yakking that whole time. You really think I'm gonna be able to stomach that? No. But anyway, they put the needle into my bum. This is the first time in probably like 12 to 14 hours that I actually felt okay, and I just fell asleep, and then I woke up, and she was like, do you smoke weed? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, this is because of weed. And I was like, no, it's not. So I was like, I've never heard of that before. Like, I'm just allergic to the preservative 220. Like, that's all it is,
Bloody Dr. Pete.
I know. It's so
good.
Annoying. But yeah, left. I had to Uber out of there. They didn't even show me where the exit was, so I was like,
great.
But at that time, I still didn't think it was weed. I was like, you're stupid. So you're gonna hate me when you hear this. But as soon as I came back from the hospital, the first thing I did was rip a cone, just because I was like, I felt like shit. The only thing that makes me feel better is weed. So went straight back onto it. But there is a moral at the end of this story, because I think. We went to Melbourne not that long ago. I think it was last year or the year before. And I had no intentions of quitting at all. No intentions. But we went to Melbourne for, I think, a week or two. I had no access to marijuana at all. No access. And for the first time in my drinking life since I've been smoking weed, I didn't yak. I didn't yak that whole time in Melbourne. And when I was smoking weed, I would profusely yak. It would be uncommon for me not to yak on a night out, But Melbourne, I was drinking, vodka. I was getting wasted, didn't yak. And I was like, wow, like, this is really strange. And it started to click for me that maybe this is marijuana. But that's when things started getting a little bit crazy, because I remember being at the shops one time, and we were at an op shop, and I was looking at all these clothes, and I just heard someone go, TG. I looked around, nobody's there, and I looked to see where all my friends are, and they're busy, looking at clothes, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm just wigging. And then I kept looking at clothes, and I hear, again, TG, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I got up to Trinity, and I was like, is someone trying to find me? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, put that beside, and went to go try on this outfit, and I was putting on this outfit, and I swear I heard somebody say, like, TG, get out, or something, or TG, where are you? And then I opened the curtain, and I'm like, hello? And nobody's fucking there, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And this is when I started realizing that I think I'm hearing things, but it only came into reality when I was sitting at dinner one night with the girls, and everyone was talking, everyone was chatting, and Neve was next to me, and I swear Neve said like a whole ass sentence to me, and I go, what did you say? She was like, what? And I was like, you just said something. And she was like, I've just been eating this whole time, like, I haven't said anything to you. And I was like, fuck. I was like, no way. Like, I was fully hearing voices, and like, and these were like my friends' voices as well, so it like really wigged me out. But after that, I just decided to stop, and I've gained so much more weight. Like, I feel healthy, I feel good. Like, even if I do have a bong here and there, it just makes me feel paranoid. Like, I'll have it and I'll be like, am I sitting correctly? Am I
Be careful.
breathing all right? But, yeah, we got out of it.
Oh,
It's okay. You live and you
I
learn,
know.
don't you?
I know. What a bad mother am I.
You had no idea, though.
No, I didn't.
But
actually.
but also it gave you some insight on you and your line of work.
I used to go to work.
Mm.
I used to go to work and I used to ask the young people so I could understand you. Because I don't smoke dope, because I think I'm prone to a drug-induced psychosis.
Yeah, for sure.
So I used to go to work and ask the girls, these young girls, about and that's when I educated myself about trying to understand you. Because it used to worry me, especially you were so skinny.
So skinny.
And you were just isolating, and then you'd come to family dues and you'd be wasted, and Lewis was pretty ordinary.
Yeah. And then
Got a bit of boyfriend now.
Yeah, I do. He's given me this, like, because I told him, the first thing I told him, I was like, I want to be thicker. I want to have meat on my bones. And he was like, okay.
Who?
Ben.
Oh, Ben.
And then, you know, I definitely, he is the most part to play on what I look like now, because he heard that, and as soon as he heard that, he'd just buy me food. I'd be like, I'm not hungry, and he's like, I don't care, I'm buying you more food. And it's come to the point where I'm eating more than he is. Okay. And I'm like eating his food.
Don't get fat though, darling, don't get fat.
I know.
You have to go to Weight Watchers.
I need to go to the gym.
Oh. So on that note, listeners, thank you so much, darling, for sharing with me. Sorry I was such a slack mother and
absolutely not.
let you go through all that shit.
I think I would have fought you if I did fought you.
No, I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't.
I think that's what I needed, and then to step back and be like, Mum, you were right, and then you're like, well, I've done all of this research, really put it more into perspective, you know, and I'm glad that.
Oh, I definitely would not have interfered in any of that, because it doesn't work. Anyway, does not work. Lecturing, locking people up, does not work.
Yeah.
So anyway, and that it's 3 minutes to 8. Thank you, my darling. Good night.
Wow, you're such a good talker.
I know she is, eh? Probably takes after mother. That was really good, but isn't it good though? Isn't it good that we finished? We finished. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, moving. I'm gonna turn this off. But isn't it good that other people have gone through the same shit?